What is up, YouTube world? It's Miami Lawyer Daddy. If you don't know me, I'm a lawyer and I'm a content creator as of now in Miami, Florida, specifically Aventura. And I've been filming podcasts for a few months now, kind of starting to get the hang of it, and also been working on other forms of content. What I am most focused on right now, if you follow me, you know, it's my fitness journey, my transformation, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of people have been asking me for updates, and I've been bad about making my own content because I've been focused on filming podcast episodes and making content for the firm. But this is important content to me to make because it's the most important thing that I'm working on, to be honest, right now. It's really difficult at age 42 to be somebody who's trying to be like, not that I'm wanting to be a bodybuilder per se, but that's kind of the training style that I'm doing. But when you're 42 and you have never been in amazing shape your whole life and you have high aspirations to make the kind of progress that I want to make while completely staying true to my goals of being completely natural, it is extremely difficult, and it is an extremely slow and tedious process. So that's what people have been asking me about behind the scenes, and I wanted to make some content and on that topic. So what have I been up to lately in terms of fitness? My exercise routine has been pretty solid. Doing a morning hour of lifting almost every morning, followed by 30 minutes of cardio. And my diet is the key variable. And eating a good diet is fucking difficult. It really is. And I could see why a lot of people say that bodybuilding is the ultimate sport, because getting into ridiculously good shape comes down to eating a consistently good, clean diet and giving your body what it needs to essentially create muscle only and not create any fat. So that is where I'm spending most of my energy right now, is figuring out a way to consistently 3-4 times a day continually make good decisions in the kitchen. Now, it becomes a lot more difficult when you are not a professional. When you're a professional bodybuilder, you have your whole life is set up for you to succeed in that one area. When you're not, like me, you are a business person, you have a job, you might have a business owner, you have a wife, you have kids, you have friends, you have hobbies, you have all these things that basically stand, for the most part, they get in the way of you and your fitness goals. And it's not so much that you have to choose between, say, family and fitness, or getting in really good shape, or hanging out with your friends. But oftentimes what happens is when you have goals or ambitions that are in the 99.9 percentile, it becomes very difficult for you, this is in my experience, for me to spend time focusing on other things. Let me give you an example. So when you're trying to get in really good shape, you simply cannot eat pizza. You can do it very once in a while, but you can't do it regularly. So I have 2 little kids. I have a dad, a grandpa. in-laws, and 2, 3, 4 times a week, we are going to restaurants where basically the only food is pizza or similar types of food. And it becomes, a lot of people that are on a serious fitness journey, I guess is what I'm trying to say, would simply avoid going to those restaurants because that's the easy way to avoid eating that kind of food, is just don't put yourself in those positions. Just in the same way that an alcoholic doesn't go to a bar, I'm sure there are a few, but most alcoholics don't go to bars. You don't go to pizza shops when you are trying to get in the best shape of your life. That's just how things work. But when you have other obligations in your life, being a dad, being a husband, being a son, being a business owner, you have to find a way to balance all of the responsibilities and obligations that you have while still making progress on your lofty, ambitious fitness goals. So, perfect example of this is when I was single and I was trying to get in shape. The only food in my house was like 4 things. There was turkey, eggs, vegetables, and berries, I think is the only thing I had. It was basically impossible for me to eat bad food in my house. And as a result of I designed my surroundings. At that time, I got in the best shape of my life because I was methodical and I was strategic, and I designed my surroundings in a way that it made it very difficult for me to act in a way that was out of alignment with where my goals were at. So I built an environment where I had to really go, outside, and I really had to make a larger breach in order to do behaviors that were not in alignment with my goals. Because that's when you're single, you're not a parent, you don't have a wife, you have your own place where you live, you can buy exactly the food that you want. You are the complete master of your domain. And getting into amazing shape and controlling your schedule and basically getting exactly what you want out of life at that phase of your life is extremely easy in hindsight. Now, when you're living in the moment, then it doesn't feel easy. It still feels difficult. But when you get older and you get all this extra baggage or whatever you want to call it, these extra responsibilities, you look back and you say, damn, I had it really, really easy back then. The struggle now is figuring out how to juggle all of the responsibilities that I have while still staying true to the behaviors that are going to get me where I want to go. So why am I so obsessed with this? I don't know. I do have a theory that it's because I was fat growing up, and I see a lot of this as a recurring thing. You see a lot of the people who get into really good shape in their 30s or 40s. They are the people that were never in good shape. So for them, like it is for me, I've never been there. So I still have a yearning to get there. And I think that's only natural. So if you follow me or you know me personally, I've had 3 back surgeries. My prior hobby, so to speak, was golf. That has been essentially put me into golf retirement because I don't want to risk swinging and fucking up my back anymore. So my number one hobby now is the pursuit of a lofty fitness lifestyle and goal. And it's extremely challenging. I think that's one of the reasons that I'm drawn to it. Just like golf is the hardest sport, as many will say, if you want to call it a sport. I don't really care what you call it, but it's extremely difficult. And that's why you see a lot of ex-pro athletes just become obsessed with golf because it's so difficult and so hard to master. I see a lot of similarities in golf that I do in bodybuilding or fitness performance. So that is, I think, why once you go down this journey, it kind of takes over your whole everything. You're always watching videos about it. How do I improve? How can I get in better shape? What should I be doing to optimize my sleep? What can I be doing to optimize my, lifting and my diet and everything? It just kind of becomes an obsession. I think it can be a healthy obsession, but it can definitely be unhealthy as well. Especially if you start to consider using steroids or PEDs, which I will never do. So with that being said, I am starting to make I think on the journey, you go through periods where you make a lot of progress and then you kind of hit a plateau for whatever reason. I don't think it has anything necessarily to do with like muscle confusion or fatigue or any of this bullshit. I think it's almost exclusively mental, but you tend to, and this is not just in fitness, it's probably in any area of life, but you go through phases where you make progress for a week or two, and then for whatever reason, you plateau. You stay stagnant. Maybe you even take a few steps backwards. I do feel that lately for me, it's the middle of March. So we're 2.5 months into this year. I've been making progress pretty well the last few weeks. Before that, I was kind of stagnant for a while. But for me right now, the biggest thing that I've changed going into this year was completely cutting out alcohol. So I have not had a single sip of alcohol since New Year's. And that has definitely helped me for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that it gives me a sense of control that I am able to eliminate something that so many people are a slave to because of whatever reasons, whether or not they're actually addicted to it or they're just in a repeating behavior pattern of society making it such a normal behavior. And I was, to be honest, just kind of becoming allergic to alcohol anyway. So for me, overcoming that habit, which it wasn't even by no means would anybody say I had an alcohol problem. I was having probably 4 drinks a month, which is like very minimal, but I would have 2 drinks twice a month, basically. And on those nights, I would have super disturbed sleep. My workout might not happen the next day. I would lose just from 2 drinks. I know it's kind of sounds crazy, but there are people that understand because I've listened to other people talk about it too. Just from those 2 or 3 drinks twice a month, I was losing a considerable amount of momentum in not just my fitness journey, but my overall life journey and being a dad and being a business owner and building the media company and building a better body and so on and so forth. So it sounds like a small thing when you look at it in a certain frame of light, but when you flip it and you realize that it has allowed me to maintain and continue a certain momentum, my overall pursuits, it's actually a very big deal. And it kind of enables me to do other similar decisions which are for my best interest. So I no longer care about having a drink because it makes the people around me feel more comfortable because they're drinking. No. That ship has sailed for me, and I just don't care anymore about what they think. I know how important it is for me. So I would like to actually make a solo cast like this, a longer one, weekly, with maybe some updates about where I'm at. I'm pretty much actually weighing the same now this entire time, but I am getting leaner. I could tell it's obvious, and people in the gym have told me too. So I know it's happening, and my clothes are fitting a little bit better every week that goes by. So I am gonna try and start doing some more. I'll probably even add some photos, maybe into this video about like some transformation pictures and also some weigh-in statistics. I'm weighing right around 200 to 205. So I'm not losing a ton of weight. I do think that I still think that I need to probably be like 190 to be where I want to be, pretty shredded with a six pack. So that's about 12 to 15 more pounds. Completely natural. Completely natural. My testosterone's already gone from 300 to 600 just by doing all the right things that you're supposed to do, which is huge. I really want to see how high I can get it. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. By the end of the year, I think that I always said, my goal is I want to be accused of using PEDs. So I want to look so good that people think that I'm on something. Which I don't know. I'm not going to probably ever be big enough because it's impossible to be 230 without using steroids. But I just want to get in the best shape ever. Feel amazing. It's already made such a big difference in how I feel, and my back pain has gone down so much. But yeah, so, the biggest thing for me is that I have people that I know are following along, and I love the idea of inspiring them and getting better on the journey. And it just makes me a better dad, makes me a better business person. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now on the journey. I'm going to take some pictures and some other statistics, maybe add a voiceover, with some more stuff. So, that's, we are March 14th. We are exactly 2.5 months into the year, and we are making good progress. If we continue to make progress at the rate that we've been, we will be extremely, extremely shredded by the end of the year, which kind of feels like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, so I'm shredded at 42 versus 43, fucking doesn't matter at all. Still impressive. So we'll do another check-in. I don't know if weekly's probably too much in terms of like actually seeing results. But still probably would be valuable for me to do it. And the few people that are following along in the journey. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do a weekly. Maybe we'll do a hybrid podcast update and fitness update. So yeah, that's it for now. Peace.